Hi, everybody, and welcome to our Saturdays with Tara Hangout on Air. I'm Mary Beth at the Law of Attraction Club on the web at theloaclub.com. We do these Saturday Hangouts as our introduction to our theme for the week. And once a month or so, we open up our calls to our free guest membership level. There's a link on your screen that will get you to our subscription page if you'd like to get invites to these calls. Robin usually does the Saturday call, I usually do the Tuesday call, and Rachel does Thursdays. Sometimes all three of us channel together, and that's a blast. From that, you get three different perspectives, slightly different perspectives, with the same or very similar understanding. For those of you watching the recorded video, we'll be adding pop-up links with more information about us and how you can access the complete audio of the extended call with questions and answers. So, once again, we welcome you, and we welcome Robin and Tara. Let's get started.
Welcome to our discussion. We were talking last week about the different sorts of questions that you ask us. And that when you ask about what we call the absolutes, the fundamental nature of things, who you are and what you're doing here, what this thing called the law of attraction is all about, we are delighted to answer you directly and comprehensively. But when you ask us about the physical and non-physical things in the worlds you experience, then we have to say, you tell us. Because not only are you asking us about what you and you alone are creating, it is our knowing, and then the next week or day or second, you could make a new choice and change it all. And then there are those questions that have both absolute and personal aspects. And then we have to say, it depends. The question we are posing to you this week is one of those questions. Can a healer heal you? Our answer, we have to say, is that it depends. It depends upon your perspective. Are you the healer? Or are you the person needing healing? Or are you the observer of both? Let's explore this together, because definitively answering this question takes us on an exploration of the nature of the universe and everything in it, and gives us new insights into the organizing power of the law of attraction. So here we go. If you or someone close to you is very ill, and you have exhausted your options in the medical profession, is there an alternative? Is there a healer out there who can work miracles for you? Do some people have a special gift and the power to change others? If you are in this situation, this is obviously a big question. And before we dive into a longer answer, the short answer is, if you can find someone or some process that feels right to you, go for it without reservation. Seize any chance to choose optimism, and you will reverse the flow, and healing must follow. You see, it is reservations and doubts and worries and fears that gets you space-time creatures into dis-ease situations in the first place. That negative focus takes you out of alignment with who you are. And there is no medical procedure or miracle worker that can buck that current. So choose whatever course feels best, be it with the medical profession, or some alternative, or even doing nothing. And start to imagine once again what life will be like in a healthy body. The path ahead for you is to get yourself more and more into a feel-good place. Nothing is more important. There will be those, of course, who say, you shouldn't be telling sick people that it's entirely their own fault. Well, even though that is the literal truth of it, we would agree with that. But when you truly understand how you create your reality, the way you approach almost every situation becomes radically different. In this case, if it is not you who is ill but someone close to you, it's not your job to tell them anything. As we progress here, you will see that in a very real sense, it has nothing to do with them. You alone are the creator of your world and everything in it. Everything in it. Whether this person in your world gets better or not is not up to them. It's up to you. But we'll get to that. If it is you that is ill, our intent here is very much to have you understand the nature of your world and your physicality. When you know truly who you are, you will begin to see the power that you have to change anything, including things you've already created. From this place, you can most easily step into a world of all possibilities. We will be encouraging you forward, not backwards to the thoughts that got you here, but forward to where you want to be. Then there are those who say, you mustn't give false hope. Well, you either believe in the law of attraction or you don't. If you don't, then that's an understandable and reasonable statement. If you do, then we would say once again, we're not talking about that other person. We're talking to you, and we're talking about you. It is your hope that is the important first step. Hope is the doorway to optimism. Optimism is the doorway to belief. Belief is the doorway to knowing and certainty and expectation. And your expectations create your virtual reality. If you begin to understand who you are and the power you have, then hope can be the start of your journey to a new world. Then you might ask, how is it possible to choose optimism when I'm faced with the reality of this physical condition and the failure of all treatments to fix it? We understand that when you've spent a lifetime choosing and then practicing beliefs about your physicalness, it can be hard to move to optimism in the face of what seems like mounting evidence of your mortality. But can you see you've now changed the question from, can I be healed, to how do I choose wellness? And this is the important question. So let's move into our longer story. Let's look at what healers are. Is someone or something out there capable of healing you? This one has had an evolving series of answers to this question. Back when he saw himself living in one world, a world solid and continuous, a world shared with every other living being, from that one world context, his answer was a possible yes. These people seemed to exist. Then he began to understand the law of attraction, and through us he knew that nobody can assert something into another's experience. So he then understood if you are sick, it is your own beliefs that are the important factor. you will always attract into your experience that which you choose to believe about yourself and your world. All dis-ease is the result of negative creative thought, and all cures are achieved by changing that flow of thought. Whether you get healed or not is always completely an inside job. To the extent that you believe in the process, it will work. To the extent that there is doubt, there is no doctor or healer on or off the planet that can heal you. So what then is the role of the healer? This one wrestled with that question for quite some time and decided it must be some sort of catalyst, an aid to the process. Well, if you view your surroundings as one world, then that's about as good an answer as you'll get. But then that begs the question, are the healers powerless in this exercise? No, of course not. By law of attraction, they have the same control over their world as you have over yours. Well then, what determines whether they are successful or not has to be an inside job for them. So how can the healer and the patient both be calling the shots? This is the question that even trips up many of your so-called law of attraction gurus. Because the truth is, there is no good answer to this question, or for that matter, a whole range of similar questions, until you can step back from a one-world view and start to recognize the degree to which all of your worlds are unique. You are not a tiny speck in a huge world. You are the creator of everything you experience. It goes like this. As you choose new beliefs, you step into new versions of you. Those new versions of you cause a matching world to wrap itself around you. In that world, you intersect with the matching versions of the people and things you attract. What looks like a shared world is actually a collage. We like that word collage. A collage of those intersections. But it is your world, unique to you. Let's look at this from your perspective. And within an infinity of possibilities, and let's pick just two versions of you and your world to show you what we mean. In version A, you go to a healer and you have chosen to be highly confident of the outcome. You will be healed. In version B, you choose to go to this healer as a last resort and you are not confident. Of course, you will get what you expect. Now, these are two different versions of reality, and both exist, both are real, both are equally valid. But by the nature of your consciousness, you are only aware of one, the one you choose to inhabit. Now, what does this story look like from the perspective of the healer? It is the same. If you're the healer and you're confident, you will be successful and you will intersect in version A. If not, you will intersect in version B. You see, it is not action that creates, it is belief. Of course, you are action-oriented creatures in a physical world, and doing things can help you believe, choose to believe, that a certain outcome will result. So we are fully in support of you doing stuff, but only if it feels good. Or at the very least, you allow yourself to anticipate that it will lead to feeling good. Once you are lined up with where you want to go, doing is easy. It feels like inspired action. It's like flowing with the current. We know that the idea of multiple versions of reality can feel a little complex at first, but we encourage you to allow yourself to begin to understand it, because you can, because it's not complex. It's just a little upside down perhaps from the way you've been seeing the world, as solid and real and continuous and out there, and you have to deal with it as it is. It's not necessary to be able to experience yourself in both versions at once, although that too is possible. For now, keep it simple. The important thing is just to know that nobody and no thing can assert into your experience anything that's not a match to your vibration. And everything that is a match will inevitably wrap itself around you. The version you are in right now is your chosen story. It's the particular way you are choosing to participate in this game of life on Earth. If being a doctor or a healer is the game you have chosen, and you are enjoying that role, then we say, play on. It can be a magnificent game. And if there are aspects of that game that are not to your liking, then we say choose to change those aspects. Expect something different. Or if another version of the game looks like more fun, then go play that one. Just recognize that you are the one who's making the decisions here. It's not about those others, you see. It's all about the version of your world you are choosing to step into. We say again, first be clear about what you want to include. Then imagine that version and step into it. You are not a tiny speck in a huge world. You are the creator of everything you experience. Choose a new belief and you will step into a new version of you. That new version comes with its own context, a collage of intersections with the matching worlds of others. This is your new world, unique to you. Step into it. Dance within it. Rejoice in the magnificence of your creative power. Be what you came here to be. And now let's move to our longer discussion and your questions.
So if you've been live with us on this Hangout, our discussion continues now on our conference line. It's going to be a lively one, I think. You're welcome to join us and bring your questions and comments. Use the number on your screen. If you're watching the recorded video, click the pop-up links on your screen for more information about us and the audio of the full call.